Before we start, I wanted to tell you that December 26, 2006 was a date that I'll always remember because it changed my life. I went to my dentist the week before, and I told him, Paul, you know, I'm size 42 already. It can't go on like this. I was tying my shoelaces, and I was getting up and I was huffing and puffing. I said, you know, I was never like this before. And he said, look, you know, check this Dr. Ezrin. You know, my wife went to him and she lost weight and she was happy. And I said, good, give me his phone number. He went online, got me the phone number, made an appointment, called Judy. I didn't know her then. And she even squeezed me in within 2 days and I got my appointment. And to make a story short, this morning, since December 26, I lost 44 pounds. So it works, okay? And before I introduce the doctor, and he'll tell you all about it, there are a couple of his patients who would like to share with you their success as well. And just before that, I wanted to also recognize our great dietitian, the registered dietitian, Lana Teme. Please stand up. And the smiling receptionist in the right hand of Dr. Ezrin, Judy. And now I'd like to invite a couple of Diane and Ray.
Just prior to the speakers, those of you who may have come in a little late and haven't signed in, I'll be in the front row, so if you please come in and sign in, this makes you eligible for the raffle to win a book.
Hi, I'm Diane, and I just wanted to say that Dr. Ezrin and Judy have been phenomenal. I've lost, I believe, close to 70 pounds. He doesn't think quite that, but it happened quick. I followed all the rules. I did everything by the book. I listened to Dr. Ezrin. I came on time, every 2 weeks, and it's a complete success story. I haven't been able to lose weight in years. And for me, I gained the weight, and you know, I don't know how I came on, of course, and it just came off very easily. And I completely 100% recommend them. It's the first diet that's ever worked for me.
I saw Dr. Ezrin on November 7th of last year, and I, at that point, weighed 276 pounds. My blood pressure was through the roof, my insulin level was through the roof. I was going to be diabetic within the next year. I am now at 213 pounds, and I've done that since November 7th. This program works. I tried NutriSlim, I tried Weight Watchers, which is a horrible program, I think. Weight Watchers, to me, they all sit around in the room and talk about what they can eat, which is like Alcoholics Anonymous sitting around in a room trying to decide what they can drink. This program works, and because of Lana, because of Dr. Ezrin, I got about another 25 to go. I'll probably be there in June. I'll lose another 25 pounds. At Weight Watchers, people were struggling to lose a pound a week. This works. I'm losing 3 pounds every other week, and I'm going to get there. This guy knows what he's doing, and this works. He knows what he's doing. She knows what she's doing. I urge you, if you want to get the weight off, see him. I hope this doesn't sound like a sales pitch, but it works.
I wanted to mention that at the end we're going to have a draw, and 3 of you, lucky ones, are going to win one of Dr. Ezrin's book. Okay, so we're going to do that at the end, and if you didn't register, you won't be able to win because your name is not here. Also, I wanted to thank Dr. Marshall Goldberg, heading the Chazak group here in Temple Nemarav, for helping us organize this event today. I wanted to thank Julie Smith and Gary Smith for publicizing it. And, excuse me, I also wanted to thank our sisterhood, Naomi and Jean Berman for preparing the cookies afterwards, having a little refreshment. I know it's ironic, but I'll tell you, those of you who are serious about losing weight, that'll be the last time for a long time that you're going to put your eyes on cookies. Without further ado, I would like, it is really a great pleasure to call upon Dr. Ezrin to give us today's talk. Dr. Ezrin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I appreciate your kind remarks. Those of you who are my patients will recognize that before we begin with the medical and technical aspects of their care, I ask a lot about the personal life of the individual. And some people question me about whether this is a waste of time. I say it helps me greatly to get to know you, and I can have a better judgment about what will be appropriate for you and what won't. So I'm going to turn the tables on myself and tell you something about me. This is my personal history. I was born in Toronto, Canada. And I'll give you my age, so there's no problem about what we're looking at. In 1926, but in 1921, insulin had been discovered in Toronto by Doctors Banting and Best. And these doctors became my teachers when I entered medical school. I entered medical school at age 17, and that was a time when World War II was on, and the medical course had been accelerated so that people could graduate in 5 years as opposed to the 6 or 7 that were previously required. So in the course of my medical education, I was inspired by my teacher, particularly Charles Best, and I learned about the miracle of insulin and how it had taken young children who were doomed to die and brought them back to a healthy state that they could persist in for many, many years. Now, in medical school, I got interested in diabetes and I got interested in pediatrics because my first paper in 1949, the year I graduated, at the age of 22, was on childhood diabetes. And childhood diabetes intrigued me because this was a turn of medical science at that time. Before that discovery of insulin, there was no prediction of what would work in treatment. This was the first treatment that really made an enormous and spectacular difference. And not surprisingly, that work was rewarded with the Nobel Prize only 2 years later. That doesn't happen anymore. You have to wait a long time to get the Nobel Prize. But anyway, after I graduated, I had planned to become a pediatrician because of my interest in diabetes and in children's diseases. But I signed up to do an internship at the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto, also, which was a world-renowned hospital. But before I could go there, I had to put in what's called a rotating internship, whereby I served on different specialty services, medicine, surgery, pediatrics, and so on. And when I was on the medical service, I received a call from the professor of medicine, the head of the department, that he wanted to see me in his office. And I knew I was doing a good job, so I wasn't worried about what it was about. But I went to his office, and as soon as I sat down, he said, "I want you to do me a favor." He said, "This hospital and this university has had a despicable policy of anti-Semitism. They've never had a Jewish doctor on the staff. All the doctors who trained here as undergraduates had to go away to find their careers." He said, "I want you to be the first Jewish doctor on the staff of the Department of Medicine at the Toronto General Hospital," which was the leading teaching hospital. Well, it was an offer I couldn't refuse. But I also asked him, what should I do about my commitment to the Children's Hospital? And they were expecting me. So he said, take it, take that year. It'll be very good for you because you'll have an exposure to life from the beginning to the end, and it'll make a better doctor of you. Now, I have to say, I took the year, and at the end of it all, I learned enough about children's